Having learned about the inheritance of Tikhon's daughter-in-law, the greedy mother-in-law immediately rushed to snatch a tasty morsel from the naive villager, a penthouse in the center of the capital. But as soon as she crossed the threshold of the desired home, a big surprise awaited her. Hello, friends. I trust you with another family story, full of contradictions and unexpected turns. Make yourself comfortable, a difficult journey awaits us. No way. Elvira Lovna's eyes flashed with a predatory gleam and dug into the face of her interlocutor. Where did Katya get rich relatives? Are you getting something mixed up, my friend? She chuckled and waved her hand, considering that the conversation was not worth a damn. Her friend immediately frowned and folded her arms across her voluminous chest. I'm telling you what I heard. I have no reason to lie to you. I didn't believe it myself, but my Svetka communicates with your daughter-in-law, so I heard something about the inheritance. And again Elvira waved it off. Where does she communicate? Where is your Svetka? She doesn't do anything except lie at home on the couch. She heard. Of course I'm telling you. Katya went to visit her granny. She's sick. I personally heard her calling, crying that she was afraid to die. Who is planning to die? It doesn't matter to me. But there is an inheritance and that's it. Look, my daughter even sent me a photo. The notary was looking for your daughter-in-law on social networks. And here, take a look, if you don't believe me. Elvira looked warily at the screen that her friend thrust under her nose. The letters blurred, and she, with a displeased hiss, reached for her glasses. Having pulled them on, the woman looked at the letters again, and having read them, she almost cursed. What did I tell you? Your bride didn't go to her granny, but to receive an inheritance. I don't know who gave up their soul to God there, their name and surname are unfamiliar to me, but, apparently, they were a rich man. They even searched for your Raskatka on the internet. It's just strange that you didn't know about it. And your son didn't share the news. You seem to be losing your grip. Mother, Elvira's friend teased her. But she had no time for that now. She was thinking hard about what her daughter-in-law's sudden wealth would bring her. If it was money, then she had to tell them right away to give her some money for repairs and buy a new washing machine, and it would also be good to improve her health, go to a sanatorium or some resort. Well, and if it wasn't money, but housing, for example, then she had plenty of ideas for that too. The housing could be rented out, and if it was in the city, then sold, and the money invested somewhere that would benefit the whole family. If it was a house outside the city, for example, then it could also be improved, and she could set up a summer house there. But that was no problem. No one had told her about the inheritance. Neither her son, nor his wife. So they decided to hide it. And why? One wonders. Isn't she their family? She's everything to them. Look how she raised Ekaterina over the years of marriage. She walks a tightrope, she won't say a crooked word to either her mother-in-law or her husband. And she taught her how to cook and run a household. And when her son brought her into the house, Ilya didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She was plain, dressed as if she had been hand-me-down. She had only a suitcase for her things, and her speech was so loud that it made your ears wilt. Well, you can tell she's a village girl right away. And indeed, her son confirmed, the bride is from the village. They say he went there on business once, and they met either in a store or a local club. He started visiting her, and now he's taken her to the city, they're going to file a complaint. Elvira knew that arguing with her son was a waste of time. If he decided to do something, he couldn't be talked out of it. So she blessed the marriage, but she vowed to herself to make a human being out of her daughter-in-law. And she did. Now you can't tell her apart from the city dwellers. And she's dressed to the nines and speaks culturedly. And their house is always clean, tidy and graceful. All thanks to her, Elvira, and they. As soon as her friend left, the woman immediately dialed her son's number. Did something happen, Mom? Taking a deep breath, the woman blurted out. There was a betrayal in our family. It means your wife is registering the inheritance, and it means she decided not to tell me. So what's that called? Aren't you ashamed to hide something like that from your mother? There was silence on the other end of the line. What inheritance? Her son's voice couldn't fool her. You'll also be acting the fool. I raised you, believe me, I know when you're lying to me. Tell the truth quickly. The man sighed. Okay, just don't shout, my head hurts as it is. Yes, Katia's mother inherited. A big one. From whom? When will she come into her rights? An apartment in the capital. In the center, a penthouse. Her uncle, her father's brother, died. He underwent treatment for a long time, but he still couldn't beat the disease. She will come into her rights when we finish with the paperwork. Elvira Lovna smiled contentedly and nodded to her own thoughts, but then pulled herself together and said in a businesslike, serious tone, So, son, such matters need to be resolved together, so I'm coming to you. Send me the address, I'll be there tomorrow. Mom, we can handle it ourselves. Especially since Katia asked, I don't care what your wife asked for. Mom said she's coming. You didn't get it? Got it, Mom. Well, that's good. I'm waiting for the address. Having received the message with the address, Elvira immediately began to get ready for the trip. She wasn't going to miss such an opportunity, and so she packed thoroughly. She took clothes for all seasons and extra shoes. She also put bedding, dishes, a little curtains, and a couple of tablecloths. She carefully packed all this stuff in the trunk of a taxi and was already boarding the train by nightfall. Meanwhile, a real drama was unfolding in the capital. Katia, all red with anger, stood in the middle of that very penthouse and stared without blinking at her husband, who didn't know what to do with himself. What did I ask you about? That I wouldn't tell Mom. But, Katia, I didn't tell her. I swear to you. To her, probably, someone reported. Let's say. But then how can you explain it to me? The woman shoved a phone in her husband's face with an open message. Got on the train. Meet me in the morning and prepare the room as expected. I'm staying for a long time. Having read it, the husband swallowed. Where did she get the address? You won't tell me either? Me? But Katia, this is Mom. How could I refuse her? The woman threw up her hands. But you yourself dreamed of moving out of her place. We discussed together how we would move out and start living separately. God, I only let her go because I knew it wasn't permanent. And now what, will she come and live here with us? What makes you think that? She'll stay for a while and then we'll send her home. Katia couldn't help but laugh. We'll send her. Do you believe what you're saying? Your mom won't budge if she likes it here. And she'll like it because she's greedy and selfish. Knowing her, I can argue. She will immediately demand that the apartment be given to her and will begin to impose her own order here. The husband jumped up. Now his face was red too. His wife had touched upon something sacred, his mother, and he had no intention of forgiving that. Be careful with your expressions, wife, you are talking about my mother. Whatever she may be, she is already leaving and will be here if she wants to live here, and you will not dare to contradict her. Do you understand me? Or should I send you back to where I brought you from? Ekaterina's eyes narrowed. Her hands clenched into fists, she took a step toward her husband. Elvira Lovno fidgeted impatiently in the seat, looking out the window. Irritation seethed in her chest from the fact that no one had met her, but it was overcome by the anticipation of quick enrichment. They had arrived. The car stopped at a brand new high-rise. The woman got out, grabbed her suitcases and carried him to the entrance to the canopy. She stood there for a minute, catching her breath, and then pressed the button to call the concierge. A woman came out, listened to her, looked at her strangely, and then said, You can leave your bags downstairs for now, I'll keep an eye on them. Thank you very much. I'll send my son for my things now. She admired her reflection in the elevator and thought that she would definitely hang the same large mirrors in her new apartment. She rang the doorbell confidently, insistently, not like a guest, but like a hostess. The lock clicked, and her daughter-in-law looked out. "Come on, open up wider, why are you hesitating?" Elvira shouted at her and, pushing the front door, entered and froze right on the threshold, her mouth open in surprise. The daughter-in-law looked, to put it mildly, unwell. Her face was bruised, a fresh bruise was forming under her eye, her arm was in a sling. "Katya, what's wrong with you?" she asked in a whisper for some reason, and then, looking around, added, "And where's Yerek? Why didn't you meet me?" Ekaterina shrugged her shoulder and immediately winced. But even through the pain she was able to squeeze out a smile that sent a shiver down her mother-in-law's spine. But he couldn't. He wanted to, terribly so. But, alas, unforeseen circumstances messed up all his plans. What other circumstances? I'm telling you, unforeseen, because there's no point in ordering me around and using force in someone else's home. Oh, he'll bring me back. And it doesn't matter that I paid off all his debts and introduced him to the right people so that he could have a normal job. No, where are you stamped out like that you look down on everyone? Who said that if a person is from a village, then he's uneducated? So I say, stereotype is everything, and your son argued. He wanted to prove the opposite to me by force. And I'm a girl, by the way. I was scared and in pain, so I couldn't hold back. Elvira Lovna listened to her daughter-in-law's grumbling and understood that she wouldn't like what she was about to hear. "What did you do to him?" "Where is my son?" she squealed, and Katya winced. "Your son is alive in the hospital under guard. He has a concussion. He'll rest for a couple of days and he'll be as good as new." The mother-in-law turned purple. "You're a nasty thing, you're a mouse out of the mud." Ekaterina's face immediately frowned. She opened the doors wider. "Mom, don't repeat your son's mistakes. Don't drive me to sin. No one has ever pulled me out of the mud. That's the first thing. And secondly, I already have enough complaints about you. Do you want to discuss it? Well, and thirdly, I've already documented the beatings. And if you don't want to make your son's situation worse, get out of here. You weren't expected here. And anyway, I've filed for divorce. So that's it, mother-in-law, goodbye." The concierge tried hard to hide her smile, but Elvira noticed and rushed past like a bullet, grabbing her things on the go, rushed into the hospital, and there was another surprise. Katya softened the truth a little. Yerek was lying half dead, covered in blood, his head was bandaged, he hadn't four. "Son, what did that bitch do to you?" "Yes, I did it." Opening his only seeing eye, Yaroslav found his mother with his gaze. "Mom, I'm here, my dear. It's okay, she'll pay for it. She'll answer for every bruise you have. I'll drag her through the courts. She'll pay us compensation, we'll take this apartment away from her." The man took his mother's hand and shook his head. "Don't even think about it, Mom, I'm already facing jail time." Elvira fell silent mid-sentence. "Why is that?" "Because I was the first to attack her. That bitch pissed me off. She insulted you. It's just a shame I only caught up with her on the first floor." The cameras and the concierge all saw who started the fight. Katya, she was defending herself, told him resignedly and closed her eyes. The mother was silent. Well, Katya soon completely recovered, got divorced and started living in her new apartment. Without her mother-in-law, without her husband, just for herself. She wanted all her life, but it didn't work out because the marriage was a dead weight dragging her down. Leave your impressions in the comments below, like and subscribe to the Family Stories channel. May your day be kind.